What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to Hear These Thoughts. Sorry about the lighting, but what we have here is 10 wrestling fans who threw objects at WWE wrestlers. I know for a fact WrestleMania better have that moment when Cody Rhodes laying in the ring and someone threw a rubber ducky in there. Like, I think that was one of the funniest things I've seen of the year, and I seen the drawing someone did of it. It was pretty good, but I hope they don't do this weird cop-out thing where there's like fans through streamers at the wrestler because they got elevated from NXT to the main roster. Sometimes some of these lists do some weird stuff like that, but WrestleMania, let's not go that route. But anyways, before we get started, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this.
Book for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts. Number 10, Natalya. Crown Jewel 2019 was a historic pay-per-view as Natalya and Lacey Evans became the first two female wrestlers to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. This was a huge deal for the entire wrestling world, as at one point in time it seemed unlikely that this would
I'm gonna do a video that involves Natalya in a certain way. I'm gonna drop that today. I can't wait to see what you guys gotta say about that. Let's get into this.
Ever happen. Whilst most fans in Saudi were thrilled to see Natalya and Evans wrestle, one fan was so angry with this match taking place that he decided to throw a water bottle at Natalya during her entrance. Now thankfully the bottle didn't hit her, and Natalya's reaction was insanely professional.
Hold on, guys, tell me if I'm going crazy. I could have sworn it just hit her thigh.
This match taking place that he decided to throw a water bottle at Natalya during her entrance. Now thankfully the bottle didn't hit her, and Natalya's reaction was insanely professional as she didn't let the fans' terrible conduct affect her mindset heading into the match. During an interview with Yahoo Sports, the former women's champion was asked about the incident, and this is what she had to say. When that water bottle was thrown, it was kind of a symbolic of my life, our lives as people. I've yet to meet a person who has yet to have a struggle in their journey. For me, all I could think of at that moment was, oh, a bottle was thrown. I was going to keep going forward because forward is forward no matter what the pace is. Because of that mindset, I've gotten to where I am today. I've had so much worse than bottles thrown at me.
Okay, all right. I don't want to be disrespectful to Natalya. She's great. I love her. But, and I understand, I love positivity, guys. I love inspirational quotes. I love all of that stuff. And I love the positive mindset. But all they did was throw a half-empty water bottle at her. Why did she turn this into an episode of the Jay Shetty podcast? Why is this turned into an inspirational quote Instagram account? Like what? Like she got all of that out of a water bottle? I guess. I mean, I don't know. People are in different journeys of their lives, but I don't know, man. That's a little too deep for a water bottle. Am I wrong? Let me know if I'm just tripping.
Number 9, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was cemented as one of the top heels in all of WWE in 2009, and his heel work made fans so angry during a live event in London, England, that one fan threw a glow stick in the ring and it hit Jericho square in the eye. Now Jericho was so angry with the fans' actions that he encouraged the rest of the fans to do the same thing, but this sent the show into total chaos as the fans filled the ring with DX glow sticks. According to Jericho himself during an interview on Busted Open Radio, this incident resulted in being reprimanded by WWE management. I'm doing my promo, typical heel stuff, everyone's booing. Some dude hits me in the eyeball, it hit me hard, it pissed me off, and I was like, alright, you wanna throw stuff at me? Everyone go ahead, everyone starts throwing stuff at me, there's a snowstorm of these glow sticks. There must have been 100, I remember being like a ninja, like Sugar Ray Leonard boxing them out of the way. After the show, I was told that Stephanie McMahon wants me fined and she wants me suspended. Well, Stephanie's not my boss. I don't give a shit what Stephanie wants. You can tell her that. Number 8, Stephanie McMahon. Now, the heel work of Stephanie McMahon during the Attitude Era was tremendous, as Stephanie truly knew how to get under the skin of the audience. However, this decorated heel work backfired when, according to Kurt Angle, a fan threw a baseball at Stephanie during a show.
What?
The details of the incident have been kept top secret, but Angle would offer some details on his podcast.
Wait, did they hit her with like a curveball, a slider? Like what they do? That's messed up though. Getting hit with a baseball hurts, man. Believe me, I know.
As well as discuss the reaction of Vince McMahon. This is crazy, so I was gonna call the police and I called Vince McMahon instead because earlier that night during the show, Stephanie McMahon walked out down the ramp and someone threw a baseball at her, and Vince McMahon went to security and said, "You find that SOB that did that. I don't care how much money it takes. You tell fans, you keep offering money until they say yes. $100, you know, if they don't want to do it for 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So security was going around asking the fans and they weren't going to tell, so they end up doing a really high number, and one of the fans said he did it. Damn, what a snitch. Number 7.
Yo, no. If someone's trying to offer that money and I got bills paid, especially when the first of the month is coming around, I'm picking somebody that was nowhere near the baseball. I'm like, hey, yo, this guy over here with the green shirt, even though the ball came from that side of the arena, he did it. I need to get my bills paid though. But it's weird because Kurt Angle has a lot of these stories that sometimes, like as of lately, because of his podcast, and I love Kurt Angle, like it seems that there really isn't that much evidence to support what he's saying a lot of the time. It's always like a speculative things, like him beating Brock Lesnar or something like that, beating up Brock Lesnar. I saw that article, but I guess no one said anything about it. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, man, that's messed up, man. You can't be throwing baseballs at Stephanie McMahon. That's crazy.
Kalisto. During an episode of 205 Live in 2017, Kalisto was on the outside of the ring selling when all of a sudden a full bottle of water smacked him in the face. This caused excessive damage to Kalisto and he needed stitches and even an MRI. Thankfully, the fan responsible for the injuries to Kalisto would be apprehended, but it was never disclosed what punishment came to the fan, but you have to assume legal action was involved. Number 6. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is considered to be one of, if not the toughest wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots. Lesnar is incredibly intimidating and trying to provoke the former UFC champion is never a good idea. One fan during an episode of Raw in 2017 clearly had a death wish as he tried to actively provoke Lesnar. As Lesnar was making his way down to the ring, a fan threw a drink at Lesnar and his manager Paul Heyman. Rather hilariously, Lesnar no-sold the incident and he didn't look remotely fazed. The fan was insanely lucky that the drink didn't anger Lesnar, but nevertheless, the fan was no doubt kicked out of the arena and given a substantial ban from all WWE events. Number 5. Scott Hall.
Now,
it's not just WWE fans.
You pay all that money to be in the front row and you just do dumb stuff like that, man. It makes no sense to me, man. Hey, if you don't want your ticket, give it to me. I want to be there.
Been prone to throwing objects in the ring, as the WCW audience were notorious for reacting to matches and promos by throwing drinks into the squared circle. One infamous incident of this took place when the late great Scott Hall was in the ring. Hall was in the ring alongside the rest of the New World Order when suddenly a fan threw a drink in the ring. The drink actually made contact with Hall's head, and Hall proceeded to use the liquid from the drink to slick back his hair.
How cool
Seriously,
is,
no one is more smoother than Scott Hall was.
Cool. That's why you gotta love Scott Hall, bro. He can play things off and make it look so natural. Even though he kind of, to me personally, all right, salute to Scott Hall, RIP. He always kind of reminded me of Ross from Friends. I don't know if you guys watch that show. I know there's a joke going around that Ross, that Friends is like one of the worst shows out, or whatever the case may be. But he kind of looked like Ross a little bit. David Schwimmer, I don't know. Am I tripping? Let me know.
Radiated star power in the majority of things he did in wrestling, but there are certain moments that paint a crystal clear image of why Hall was so beloved in the squared circle, and this was certainly one of them. Number 4, Shawn Michaels. Now, whilst it's okay to get annoyed with heels in wrestling, reacting by throwing objects is never okay, especially if that object is something as dangerous as a battery. In 1998, DX and Mike Tyson would host a live workout during the WrestleMania week. What was supposed to be a special event turned into an unfortunate night for Shawn Michaels as a fan threw a battery at HBK in the ring. The fan was removed from the event, but HBK was furious. He left the ring and immediately walked to the backstage area. The WWE legend had a discussion with Vince McMahon, and this eventually led to HBK finishing the event as originally planned. According to Bruce Pritchard, HBK wanted extra security placed on him, and WWE would have the police escort him everywhere leading up to WrestleMania 14 for his own protection. Number 3, Triple H and Stone Cold.
Was throwing batteries, like, but hey, if that makes you upset, you just better be lucky you weren't part of any team that was on the field with the Oakland Raiders back in the day. Them was throwing batteries like crazy.
Steve Austin. An all-time classic went down at the 2001 No Way Out pay-per-view as Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin collided in a 3 stages of hell match. After Triple H got the win in a 40-match epic, Triple H was laying on top of Austin, and this was to sell the utter exhaustion of the match. But this was when some idiot decided to throw a beer directly at the wrestlers, and it made contact with Austin's face. Both men reacted instantly as they had to alter their positioning. It ruined a great moment, and the fan should have been utterly ashamed of himself. Number 2, Roman Reigns. In 2015, Roman Reigns was hated by a strong portion of the fan base, and one fan took this hatred a step too far. During a live event match, Reigns was wrestling Bray Wyatt when suddenly a fan threw a replica Money in the Bank briefcase in the ring and it hit Reigns right on the back of the head.
What?
The fan was escorted out of the arena and he was banned from all future WWE events. The fan would later claim that fans were pushing him to throw the briefcase into the ring, but this didn't justify or excuse his reckless and dangerous actions. The head of the table would discuss the incident with the Miami Herald, and this is what the multi-time world champion had to say. I was confused at first. I thought Bray hit me in the head with a kendo stick, so immediately I was like, oh man, you're about to get it, brother. Oh, you're about to get your butt whooped. But then I looked down and I could see the briefcase, so then I'm trying to piece this thing together. If you see the video, you see me stand up to where I kind of got a little bit hot. Once I was able to process the situation in a matter of seconds, I knew what needed to be done, and our security team took care of it. It was just a bad choice by a 31-year-old man, throwing briefcases at entertainers while they're busting their butt for you. Everyone was on top of it. He was escorted out briefly after, and luckily for me, the briefcase was plastic so it didn't hurt, but it's scary. And number 1, Cody Rhodes. The main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania 39 left fans very disappointed as Cody Rhodes failed to finish the story and overcome Roman Reigns to become undisputed champion. One fan expressed his frustration with the match outcome by throwing a rubber chicken into the ring and it landed right next to Rhodes. Why a fan had brought a rubber chicken to WrestleMania was unknown, and this quickly became a meme. This was quite an unusual sight, seeing a defeated Rhodes lying in the ring next to a rubber chicken. Rhodes would even address the chicken during a promo on Raw, which was a smart move as the entire WWE fan base was talking about it. But I
forgot, was that before or after? It had to have been after, because there was a time where Cody Rhodes did something after Raw, I believe, and he had like a chicken mask on his head. So I don't know if that was that had to happen after, because it had to be like a callback to that situation. But that's funny because like in that moment, everybody was pissed off by the way the match ended. And to see something as crazy, a rubber chicken just land in the middle of the ring. Like, I was kind of irritated about what happened, but I was laughing when that happened. I couldn't help it. Like, that broke all the tension, because we were at like a bar and we were watching WrestleMania. So that broke all the tension in the entire room. And I thought that was completely hilarious. But is there a moment where wrestlers or fans do something at wrestlers that they did not put in this list? I think one of the craziest things I ever seen was, I believe they had a live event in South Africa. I think it was South Africa. And Randy Orton was at the end of the match. He was taunting, doing his taunt, doing his legendary thing. Then all of a sudden, some fan came out, low blowed him while he was on the top of the apron. And I think I reacted to that in one of my videos. Randy Orton came down. Luckily, Randy Orton didn't go crazy on the dude, but the dude got escorted out. Apparently, the guy was a amateur wrestler trying to, get big in the company and thought that doing that was going to get him a shot into WWE, which is the most backwards thing I've ever heard of in my life. And he also cut a promo video talking about he's ready for Randy Orton. Actually, I'm probably going to play it at the end of this video. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace, have a good day.